What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Go watch some of my other videos and make sure you definitely subscribe to my channel. I have a bunch of new content coming out. I'm trying to get a little more consistent and become, really consistent for y'all. Today's video is a little bit different. It's a bit of a continuation of a video that I previously did in regards to my post-college life. If you didn't know, my name is Javon, of course, but I went to Syracuse University and I graduated in May of 2017. And the last video I did was kind of like an overview of all the different things that had happened to me since I graduated and some of the struggles that people who just graduate from college may be dealing with, post-grad depression, trying to find a job, comparisons to other people who you graduated with or who had graduated before you, a bunch of different things that I knew other people could relate to me on. And today's video is my post-college life, and basically the idea behind this is finding a job. And that's everyone's main plan after graduating from college. It's definitely finding a job. Like, you go to college for 4 years, you pay all this money, or take out loans, or your parents pay money, whatever it may be. And the goal behind all of that is for you to find a job so that you can sustain yourself in life. Now, what your professors or your advisors or whoever else don't tell you is that they don't tell you that that shit is hard, especially depending on the industry that you're trying to get into. So there are some industries where finding a job may be a bit easier, or jobs that kind of guarantee a full-time position a year in advance. So I know some people who have had internships from their junior year of college have been offered a job at the end of that year to start the following year post-graduation. All industries are not like that. I know like IT is sometimes that way, computer science, finance, accounting, things like that. And I know there's a bunch of other majors. If you're one of those majors and you know that you can be guaranteed a job early, you can put it down in the comments if you want. But for some more like creative positions or industries that are very saturated or who have a high turnover, it's not as easy. So for me, I wanted to get into the entertainment industry. If you didn't know, I interned at Roc Nation Records while I was in college for 2 summers, and the goal was for me to get into the music industry or some sort of entertainment industry space. In media, in entertainment, at a record label, etc., these people want you to start immediately. They want you to start in a very short period of time. So 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be offered a job at the end of your internship for the following year. Like, that doesn't happen. Things need to get done. Clients can be gained, clients can be lost, turnaround, all kinds of things like that. People want you to start quickly. People want you to start within a few weeks, within a month or so, like in a short period of time. Anyway, not to make this strictly an entertainment video, I have a few things that I think are really important in helping to ease some of the stress of that job search post-graduation. For me, my job search, my full-time job search, took me almost 10 months after my graduation. And that time was like one of the most humbling times that I've experienced within my life. Graduating from college and, having been so busy, so involved in college, like graduating and not having a full-time position was very stressful for me. It was something that I started to kind of feel bad about within myself, and I really kind of like grew from that entire experience. I didn't think that I would be that one where it took almost damn near a year for me to find a job after I graduated from college. So one thing that I would say to ease some of the stress is internships. You can find internships that are paid, you can find internships that are unpaid at a bunch of different companies. Like, they're always looking for people to work. Whether you're a senior or younger, internships are something really important. While you're in college, I will not stress it more. You definitely need to do internships because they show people that you have work experience and tangible skills that can apply to the positions that you're applying for. Try to work within your industry within whatever breaks, whether it's summer break, the month for winter break, whatever, so that you have tangible skills that people will understand, like, oh, so he does know how to do this, she does know how to do this, you know what I'm saying? And then even post-graduation, me personally, I did 4 internships after I graduated from college. 2 directly after, within the summer, and then 2 in the following January. They were all 4 very different internships and kind of like helped me figure out exactly what I wanted to do, and actually kind of helped me weed out what I didn't want to do, and kind of open my interest to some things that I actually didn't really have an idea about. Another helpful tip that I think that I could give is employment agencies. So if you're confused about what you want to do, or if you need like office experience, or like, you know, you want to get your foot in the door at a company or something like that, there are agencies that you can go through that literally get you jobs because they need to be filled. These can be temporary positions if you don't know what you want to do. These can be temporary to permanent positions if the fit is right. These could be outright permanent positions for people who are going through agencies to find new talent as opposed to scouting for it themselves. It just depends on the agency, and there are agencies that cover several different industries, you know, have very cool companies. They don't usually divulge the names on their website. However, when you go in, you know, you can give them your resume, tell them the type of culture you're looking for, the type of job you're looking for, what your majors, what your skills are, and they try to pair you with the company that they feel could be a fit for you. And that is also something that I did. But basically they got me a position that was paying me, that wasn't in a store, that kind of built some of my skills as far as copywriting and things like that. And really kind of gave me the experience of like working, like what it meant to go to work from 9 to 5 every day, and what it meant, you know, to be in an office and a professional environment. And I feel like that could be very, very important. One thing I would say is I wouldn't try to get caught into that temporary position, jumping from job to job to job to job. Use this time as a temp to apply for other positions. That's exactly what I did. As I was temping at ClassPass, it was temporary to permanent position. I was applying to jobs, and I would interview, and I was, you know, researching new jobs and looking into new things. It gives you some cushion because you have a paycheck coming in, so you're not broke, but it's also a temporary position where you have leeway to go on interviews. And another thing that I will say, this is I guess the third thing, try not to compare your journey with others. And I know I touched on this in my last video, but it is so important. This is something that I cannot stress. Like, comparison to your classmates or people that graduated before you or people who work in the industry that you want to work in can be so stressful. Like, when I tell you, it can make you so much more stressed than you need to be. Like, you don't know if these people go to work every day and they hate their job, hate their supervisor, hate everything they do, but they work at a cool company and they, you know, post on Instagram and it's cool. Like, you don't know anyone's situation. So don't base your life off of what you think like other people are doing, or why do they have a job and I don't? Why does so-and-so work in this industry and I can't get into it? Oh, she never even wanted to do that, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it becomes like a competition, and it really doesn't need to be. Focus on yourself, apply to your jobs, network, do whatever you have to do to move yourself forward so that, you know, you could post your new position on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever. You know, get your resume together, get your LinkedIn profile together, you know, figure out exactly, you know, what you need to do. I would say just don't compare yourself to each other. Another thing I would say is make sure that I guess this is number 4, make sure your resume is on point. And when I say on point, make sure there are no grammatical errors. Make sure there's subject-verb agreement. Make sure that, you know, everything is right. Your resume is designed properly, like for the industry that you're going into, formatted correctly, information is correct, all that stuff. Make sure your LinkedIn is directly reflective of your resume. Include more on your LinkedIn than you do on your resume, because recruiters recruit through LinkedIn. People who get your applications will go to your LinkedIn. Like, make sure that is something that is, you know, stand out. Like, get a professional photo. Make sure your resume is good. Have people look over it. Have people look over your cover letters. Have people go over your LinkedIn. Like, all of this is so important in the search to find a job. And also make sure you have certain buzzwords in your resume, because a lot of the times these recruiters are not really looking through all of the resumes physically. They'll put in a few different like words, and the system will scan for those words and pull those resumes from the pile. And that's who they actually look at. For my industry, for example, paid social and paid search, you can put like Google AdWords, Facebook Ads Manager, Twitter ads, Snapchat, you know, optimization, things like that, so that they, like, when they type those words in, or even in the application, if there are certain requirements, make sure those words in the requirements are also in your resume as much as they can be, because these are direct things that they're looking for. And if they type in specific words, your resume will pop up in that search, and it gets you one step closer to getting that job. What else? You know, I would also say just apply. Like, apply, apply, apply. Don't apply to just anything, because I feel like you can definitely get into that, especially the longer your job search is and the more interviews you go on that don't work out or whatever. It can be discouraging, and you can end up, you know, just applying for anything. Like, you don't want to do that, because when you get stuck in that job, it's going to be so much harder to get out and explain why you were in a job for however many months doing something that has nothing to do with what you really want to do, than just, you know, sticking it out and like trying to apply more. Don't settle and just work anywhere. Like, that is never like the goal. So, you know, I know everyone needs to make money, and that's very important, but I also think that it's really important to kind of like see your goals through. Like, if you need to get a job on the side and do that for as long as you need to find your actual dream job, then that's fine. But don't like just stay in a job just because you're making money if that's not something that you really, really want to do. Honestly, I would say, like, it takes so many applications for people to actually get interviews, especially straight out of school. Like, you need to apply. Look on Indeed, look on LinkedIn, look on companies' websites, Google companies that, you know, are really good at what you do. I mean, really good in the industry that you're looking for. Look on those websites daily, set up notifications, like things like that. Reach out to recruiters, message them on LinkedIn, ask for informational interviews, things like that. Really kind of help you stand out and really kind of like put your name out there. Like, if you put out 3 applications, like, yes, you might get an interview, but what are the chances if you put out 30 applications that you'll get an interview, or more than one? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like a numbers thing. Like, apply to jobs that you want to apply to, but apply to as many as you possibly can. Like, you can't become discouraged trying to establish yourself for the future. Like, keep pushing, keep moving forward. Don't get discouraged. Don't compare yourself, and make sure everything that you have is on point. Those are, like, you know, all the things that I have, all the things that I followed while I was looking for my job, and they worked out for me. As long as it took, I finally found the job that I like. I found something that I was interested in, and something where I learned completely new skills. Tangible skills are so important within your jobs. If you feel like you're not learning anything in your job, maybe it's time to switch. If you feel like you know, have gotten everything you needed from a job, or if you feel like you have skills for something else, then maybe, you know, try to make that transition, or, you know, make sure that the job that you pick is conducive to you moving up, moving forward, growing within the company, growing into another position somewhere else, things like that. It's really, really important. As long as you keep pushing and keep, you know, propelling yourself forward, you're gonna find a job. What's for you is for you, and what's not is not, and that's really it. Like, if you don't get a job, don't like fall back and not apply to anything else. Keep applying. Like, that's all you have to do. That's really, really all you have to do. I think that I'm gonna, you know, continue to make this a series and really kind of like hone in on specific things, my experiences, talk to my other friends, maybe bring some of them in videos too, and kind of talk about their experiences. And yeah, but again, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all, you know, for all the support that you guys give to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Crown me king. I've been going through a lot lately. All the stress got me going crazy. All these haters don't really faze me.